Recently, I posted on my Instagram account having all of you guys ask me questions on anything and everything home buying and home selling, and I am making a YouTube on it right now. So if you are looking for information on what an earnest money deposit is, if you're looking for information on how to do a credit or a buy down, if you're looking for information on how to do creative financing, if you are a seller or a home buyer, this video may be very beneficial for you. So the very first question that we have is, what happens if a seller doesn't agree to do repairs? So this goes into the inspection report. You're under contract, you have your inspection, and you have a 10-day inspection period here in Arizona, unless you want to lower that amount to 7 days, 5 days. What happens if a seller doesn't agree to do repairs? If a seller does not agree to do repairs that we find on the inspection report, you have every opportunity as a home buyer to back out of that contract and receive your earnest money deposit back. So you're not liable to stay under that contract if that home is not worthy of living in. If the sellers aren't going to fix big items like the AC, plumbing, electrical, foundation, and the roof, then is it worth it financially to move into this home where you're gonna have to pay out of pocket for these items, or are you okay with just walking away and finding another property? So that's what happens if they choose not to do the repairs. You can always move forward with it, but now here's the thing. If the seller comes and says, hey, we're not doing any repairs, if that's the case, they should have done this and said this before we got under contract. But if that is the case, and they say we're not doing anything and you guys continue to move forward, you pretty much just waived your appraisal, and we decide to move forward, then at that point, you cannot back out of that contract and get your earnest money deposit back. Hope that makes sense. If you have questions, comment below. The second one I have is great question. What is an earnest money deposit, right? An earnest money deposit is a good faith deposit, related very similar to a security deposit on a rental home or an apartment. It is you as the home buyer saying, I am putting 1 to 5% down of the down payment down now. That way, you know that I want this house. I am willing to lose this money if I decide to back out on any other terms besides the inspection period. It's pretty much saying, hey, so overall, it's a good faith deposit saying I'm willing to lose this money if I choose to back out of this contract outside of the inspection period. It's them noticing that you guys are serious, you're ready to go, you have a lot of money on the table, let's do this. That is what the earnest money deposit is. The third question I have for you guys today is, how do we ask a seller to drop the price of the home? Whew, this is a good one, especially in the crazy market we are in today. One, we want to make sure if we ask them to drop the price, if that price reduction makes sense. So as your realtor, I'm gonna go in and run comps in the area, and I'm also gonna ask the listing agent, hey, have you run comps yet? Are you able to provide me with comparable homes that have sold for this same exact price? If not, then I will go out and do that work. And if not, then that's okay, because I'm already doing that. So we'll see what homes have sold, what homes are listed for in the area, and see if dropping the price even makes sense. In a lot of cases, it does, and in some cases, it doesn't, because the home could be priced correctly. If the home is priced correctly, then that home is probably going to be receiving multiple offers in the next 30 to 60 days of it being listed on the market. Number two is we can always negotiate a credit or a price drop during the inspection period. I always tell my buyers it's best not to put all of our cards on the table at once. If you are going under contract with a home, you don't want to automatically say, hey, I want to put in a lowball offer. I want to ask for this, and this on the inspection. And I want to ask them to pay down my interest rate and pay for the closing costs. No. We don't want to go in and put all of our cards on the table because we want negotiating room. So I always say, if you want to ask for a price drop, let's wait until the inspection period, see how the inspections go, and then at that point, we'll decide, let's ask for a credit or a price drop in the home. Because sometimes a seller can be very turned off if we come in straight away asking for everything, and we don't necessarily want that, right? I hope that answers your question. Comment below if you guys have any further questions on that. Going into number 4, can we ask for a credit or a price drop during the inspections? Oh, that's technically what I just answered. So yes, If we ask for a credit, we can ask for a credit in lieu of repairs. So instead of asking these sellers to repair everything that we found on the inspection report, we legally have to give them the option to repair the things that need to be done. But we can always ask them for a credit in lieu of repairs. A lot of the times, sellers are okay with just saying, hey, here's a $5,000 credit for you as the home buyer to do the repairs and replacements of anything that is wrong with the home. Because sometimes the sellers just want to wipe their hands clean and be done. Now, here's another kick, right? You can only ask for a certain amount of credit. Now, the amount of credit we ask for is always going to vary on the type of loan you have and the down payment you are putting on that property as well. So we always want to talk with your lender from that 3% mark. VA is very different compared to an FHA loan and a conventional loan. So we can discuss that as we go through that process as well. So number 5 says, it looks like it's a question for me. So do you work only in the West Valley, or can you help me find a home in Gilbert or Chandler as well? Yes, I 100% can help you anywhere in the Phoenix metro. Whether you are looking to move to Buckeye or you're looking to move to Surprise, Peoria, North Phoenix, Gilbert, Chandler, Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, I'm here. My team and I are here to help you anywhere here in the Phoenix metro. The only areas we don't work is the Tucson area, because that's about 3 hours away from us, and the Flagstaff, Prescott, and Payson areas as well. Cottonwood as well. Those are all way up north, and it's a completely different MLS code up there. So we'll have to refer you out to a great agent over there as well. I also do not work with rentals. My team and I do not work with rentals. We get a lot of calls from you guys coming in asking for help with the rental, and unfortunately, we do not do that. Most property management companies work with rentals here in Arizona. All right, going into number 6. So these are a lot of questions. I kind of like this style of video. I may want to do more of these in the future. If you like this, comment below. If you have questions for me, comment below, because this is kind of fun, and I may even do a live video on this. So this will be really cool. I'm trying something new. All right, number 6. Am I allowed to have a third-party inspector for my new build home, and do I need to use their lender? Ooh, that's 2 questions. Okay, so yes, you are legally allowed to have a third-party inspector for your new build home. I would recommend scheduling that inspector out at least 3 months before you close on the home. Now, obviously, we want to make sure the AC unit is in there. We want to make sure everything is good and ready to go as far as plumbing, electrical. That way he can inspect it, right? So have it scheduled 3 months in advance. The reason being is because a lot of new builders have a lot of strings that they have to pull. They have to make sure the inspector has insurance. They need to see their licenses. There's so much forms and documents that need to be signed to have that third-party inspector come in. And unfortunately, a lot of new builders these days are kind of pushing against that. And we all know why, because these homes are being built very quickly. Quick story, I had a client moving to a new build community here in Goodyear, Arizona, and we booked 3 months in advance for that inspector. Week beforehand, we still didn't get everything from the corporate builder office stating, yes, we can do the inspection. So we still had that inspection even after they closed, because my buyer still has that home warranty with that builder. So anything that is found within that home within the first year, the builder still has to come out and fix. So they had a leak in their upstairs bathroom go into their garage. If we had an inspection beforehand, this wouldn't have been a problem, right? So one good thing about this is because they were allowed to use the home a week after they moved in to see how things worked. And then guess what? Inspector came in and was like, oh, this is a problem. Glad you guys were able to use this, and I was able to figure this out. And I was able to find these things, right? So that's one thing. Another thing is their garage door just kind of fell on top of their car almost. So that was another thing. It wasn't hooked up correctly. Again, if we can get a third-party inspector come in before you close on that home, have it scheduled 3 months in advance, that I would always recommend. But if the builder is just not communicating and things aren't going as well as we'd hope to get that third-party inspector in, don't worry, we'll get them in as soon as you guys close, okay? So there's that. And then the second half of that question is, do I need to use their lender? No, no, you do not have to use a new build lender. This is I think a lot of people feel obligated to because it is the new build that they're purchasing. It's their builder, their lender that they're like, you know, it just makes sense. But you don't have to. If your lender from the home that you purchased a year ago or 2 years ago is able to be your lender on this home and they can give you the same incentives, highly recommend it. The main reason why so many people go with a new build lender is because of the incentives that they offer. They offer closing costs. They offer incentives to buy down your interest rate. They offer, you know, incentives for the design center to pick out your countertops and your cabinets, flooring, paint, all kinds of stuff. So that's the main reason why a lot of people go with the new build lender. The only issue that I have seen with a lot of new build lenders over the last year is lack of communication. When the market was kind of crazy, they just had too much on their plate. They weren't calling my clients back right away to get that pre-approval. At that point, the home was almost going to someone else, another buyer. So we had to have a third-party lender come in and be able to get them that pre-approval right away. So that's the only other thing that I found, but both are great. And guess what? If you're going into a new build, take your realtor, because I'm gonna be there every step of the way. Your realtor should be there every step of the way to say, hey, lender, did you get this? Hey, lender, did you get that? Hey, lender, builder, did you guys connect on this, right? Hey, buyer, did you talk with your lender about buying down your interest rate so we can get these closing costs and everything scheduled or, you know, put together to be able to close and you're able to get into the home at the price that you want, right? So this is a lot of communication. So if you're going into a new build, make sure you have a realtor there to vouch for you, to support you, to negotiate on your behalf, and to be able to guide you and your family to have the most stress-free experience as possible. Going into number 7, it says, once we are under contract and I have other funds coming in, can I still pay down my interest rate? Ooh, that is a good question. So once we are under contract and I have other funds coming in, can I still pay down my interest rate? I don't want to say absolute yes to this because I am not a mortgage lender and everybody's situation is different, but I have seen this happen before. I've seen a buyer go under contract and her dad was like, hey, I don't want you to have a insane monthly mortgage payment at a what was it? I think her interest rate was 7.8%. So her dad came in and was like, here's $30,000. He gave her a gift. Keep in mind, there's a trace from that gift, from that dad to that daughter, where the mortgage lender can say, okay, this is where that money came from. And she used that money to pay down her interest rate to like a 5.9, 5.7, something like that. So she was able to buy down her interest rate with that gift while she was already under contract. So I have seen this happen, but you always want to talk with your mortgage lender and make sure that this is the best scenario for you. And also talk with your realtor. Don't just go to the mortgage lender and say, hey, this is all I want to do, and leave your realtor out of the loop. Because sometimes once you're under that contract, we also have to let the sellers and the buyers and everyone else who is involved, let them know exactly what is happening, because it could affect certain things. So keep everyone in the loop if that is something that you are wanting to do. That way we can all work with each other and help make this, again, as stress-free as possible. So that is all the questions. If you guys have more questions, please comment down below. I'm loving this style of video, and I may do a live at some point with this if this video does really well. Don't forget to click that like button, click the subscribe button. I will be posting every single week, and if you guys are looking to move here, keep in mind, I am an Arizona licensed realtor helping people move here every single day from all over the US. If you're looking to move out of state, guess what? I have a huge list of referral agents that I can refer you guys out to as well. Just let me know, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I'm here to help serve and support you at the highest possible level.